You want to do this? So like, this is a pretty recent development. Like, I just sort of recently started getting into like internet subjects and working with the internet through painting, like as of like probably 6 months ago or 5 months ago. Yeah, I mean, so there's been the painters from the 80s, like Richter and Sigmar Polk, like these like German like neo-expressionists sort of were working with stuff called, I mean, their sort of movement that they were working with is capitalist realism, which sort of was talking about that like capitalism cannot really be separated from like your depiction of reality, because it's involved inherently in even in art making. And so I'm sort of trying to bring those subjects and like that sort of process of thinking into like a current practice, and how those like structures sort of shape how one paints, specifically through the internet. And so the other thing is like I've grown up, I grew up not having the internet necessarily. Like it had just really started. Like the iPhone came out in 2004, 2002, and so like after that, like things changed. Like people are different now. Like it's not like it's literally has changed so much, and it's not necessarily being addressed in painting as much as I want it to be. Because people talk about the goal of painting as like to find the ego or to find like self. And the thing is, I mean, my personal opinion is that like man has a new self. Man has like a new cyber form, that it's not necessarily just man and like nature and all these things. Like there's another world that we are like involved with, and that affects like the real world. This is air quotes, real world. That's online, and like I'm just wondering how that's not being addressed through paint. I mean, it's being addressed in a lot of video art, a lot of mediums, and they're doing a really good job. But painting is a really difficult time. Even talking about technology, it's just a really difficult thing for painting to do, because it has such a final and fixed final state. Does that make sense? Like it's final. It's a painting. It's done. And images and the general ideology of social media and the internet is so quick and fluid and moving that it's really hard to capture anything through paint. And so right now I'm working through that and sort of trying to figure out like a good almost tactic of talking about it or capturing it. I'm talking to the viewer now. In conclusion, I make work about the internet. I'm still figuring it out. I'm 19, so I do have a little bit of time. But I think that the work that I'm doing and people who are working with the internet, it'll be important.